and of course, this is kind of a Thanksgiving week special that we have going here. And did we actually hit that all-animal parlay that year that we gave that out for the 3 Thanksgiving Day games? Which, no, we still have some action coming up, including Dolphins-Jets coming up over the weekend, which I know which way you're going on that ball game, although you just deemed everybody completely Meshuggah who had picked the Jets 5-4 out of the 9 handicappers in the New York Post, somewhat of a biblical publication when it comes to degeneracy. 5-4, they had the Jets getting 3 in a hook with smoking Joe Flacco now going to be their quarterback. Now, do I sense maybe a little bit of hesitation on your part to warmly embrace the go-the-other-way philosophies, Jersey Kyle, that you usually exhibit and practice to great prosperity, to go the other way, everybody's opinion, and, go ahead and unload on the money line with the Jets?
Well, once again,
how are you, by the way?
I'm good. I'm here. I made it a little late this morning.
Yeah,
but,
usually the guys we put up here look like, they were simulating, acting like a corpse.
Jeez.
But you look good, man.
No, I did watch the show yesterday, and I saw you bring out the jumper cables. I felt a little bad.
I almost went MacGyver. It took 2 candlesticks off Jack's set there on the other side of the studio, and
yeah, no, I felt that way this morning. I'm over here by Nob Hill. And,
oh, no.
I'm not sure.
When you have to call the other talent on the show to see if they're going to show up by post time, it's never a good sign of the level of dedication that people have to these shows. But we've been doing this a long time. And,
well, let's do a little hard-hitting sports. I mean, when these 2 teams get together, Jeff, the Jets and the Dolphins, you can always expect a battle. More than a battle, a war. They're going to the Meadowlands this weekend, and boy, is it going to be wild.
I was thinking more along these lines, that these 2 teams historically have had the worst mascots in the history.
Oh, I was going to say they both stink.
All sports, respectively, have they not? I mean, look, Fireman Ed, I don't know, what was that, some clown in a fireman's hat? Was he even in the fire department? I don't know. Was he an actual fireman?
I think he actually was a fireman,
but
yes.
He didn't go out on any calls. He was the guy that was like the dispatcher that said, okay, yeah, we need a couple of trucks over there.
Well, the one thing you could say about Fireman Ed is that his jersey was always pressed and cleaned on Sunday. He didn't
look right either.
Well, but at least it was a clean. Unlike the next guy you're going to bring up, who was dancing in the corner of the stadium.
Dolphin Denny was a great mystery for a long, long time. I mean, you're looking down there and thinking, are the players inspired by this guy to go out there and give it that little extra that they have to maybe get over the proverbial hump and win a ball game? Who wants it more? See Dolphin Denny down there. But more. I mean, he had a bulbous nose like he'd been drinking since birth. May rest in peace. I don't mean he was a nice guy too. And actually, I have to give him credit because he had a deal on an automobile, a freebie.
Yes.
As this lame mascot for a team that ripped off their theme song, for God's sake, from another team, the Houston Oilers at the time. And the Oilers were happy they ripped it off because then they were able to get a new one themselves.
A new song, yeah.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. I mean, my grandson, Liam, was singing this song the other day. And he said, you know what, Dad? This song sucks. I'm rooting for anybody that plays the Dolphins if they're going to feed us this garbage over the loudspeaker system there at the stadium.
Right. No, and
Dolphin Denny was a bust, though. I mean, Carl Malden.
I don't think he was the actual mascot, though.
Dolphin Denny was an official mascot. He was not acknowledged by Joe Robbie as the official mascot because Joe Robbie didn't want to pay him. Penurious was the way they described him, which is another word for cheap.
But if you do think about it, I mean, if you think about the Dolphin Denny years, I mean, a lot of people will attribute a lot of the wins to Shula, to the great Don Shula, but
nothing to do with it.
No, it was all Dolphin Denny. I mean, come on. When he was gone, that was the end of the team. The record went downhill. The draft selections weren't great. I mean, it was all about Dolphin Denny, I think. I mean, he
had those stained orange coach's shorts.
Where'd you get
believe
those?
It or not,
those were bad.
I don't know if they moved these with the team to the new facility. They built a new facility, which hasn't done them much good since they got this $zillion practice facility.
Yes. Yeah.
And new headquarters and everything. They're 2-7 or something like that. 3-7.
The last time I went down to the Hard Rock Stadium and went by the trophy case, I saw those shorts hanging.
They were once in there. No, in the old Davy offices. I mean, it was right next to the thing commemorating the football that Peterson was the guy when Shula broke the record for the most wins, and they had that ball in there. Right next to that was the sequin sombrero. which like was last seen on Pinocchio, I think. I don't know. Who was the last guy to wear that? Oh. And then, you had like this guy that looked like he was going to fall over, half in the back drunk, at halftime. And, imagine you're playing your eyeballs out. You're in there. You're bleeding from every pore. Schwitz is pouring off of your face. You're battling some 320-pound guy for 59 snaps in a ball game. You're coming off the field after another, just ridiculous, heartbreaking 3-and-out. And Dolphin Denny's going, and he puts a little towel up that says "Go" on it, written in magic marker.
Yes.
And you're thinking, you know what? As soon as I get back out on the field, I'm going to kill someone.
Told you it was all about Denny.
An inspiration, yeah. But these two teams have been garbage for a long, long time. I have a stat here if you want to get
Look at you.
Lubie, you like stats, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, we don't want to have you upset with what we're doing in terms of the actual factual material on the show. How about this? The Jets allowed 175 points over the past 4 games.
Jesus.
Not bad.
175 points.
It's not bad.
In the last 4 games. That is the second most in any 4-game span by a team since 1970.
Oh, jeez.
How many years ago was that? 51 years ago. It's been 51 years since a team stunk the joint out this bad. You're going to bet on them, too, on the money line. The Patriots, 54, the Colts, 45, and the Bills, 45. That is all scored against the Jets. Made the Jets the first team since the 1966 Giants to give up at least 45 points 3 times over 4 games.
Oh, my God.
And you know what they're doing to stop that trend?
No.
They had a team meeting.
They did.
Hey, guys, what are we going to do? It's like the staff meetings for this show. Hey, Lubie, what can we do different? I don't know.
Well, they did. But look, you got Lubie Cam now in the right-hand corner of your screen.
That's an innovation of Jack and Brad, man. I
pick up the ratings like crazy, I would imagine.
Well, I actually saw Jack Namer on the phone, and Amy was already calling, going, what's that costing us? Is it worth it? Does it add anything to the show? And she's not wrong, to question. That's for sure. All right, many things happening. Of course, another football weekend on tap. I have a full page here full of odds. You know how we love the smell of point spreads in the morning. And of course, it starts out with the NFL and the Jets and Dolphins, because this is out of the New York Post. The first game featured there, 3 and a hook. Kind of a strange line. Does that not indicate to you that something is up in this game? Have you been tracking? And I'm waiting for somebody to do this on a website. Maybe this is some way that we can actually generate capital for the Ion Channel project here, is to track where is the Russian syndicate money going. How do we find that out? Because this is another inexplicably low point spread, I think. Now, I know the Dolphins are on the road, but they just shellacked the Baltimore Ravens while the Jets were giving up these hideous numbers. I mean, these are numbers here that, you wouldn't want to ever see in your lifetime. 45 points a game, like 3 weeks in a row. Incredible. Including a 54 spot to the New England Patriots with a rookie quarterback that Lubie hated, who, by the way, looked pretty good last night.
No, Mac.
In that ball game, yeah. Mac Jones, far and away the best of the rookie quarterbacks, and Mel Kiper over there. As he was like applying a full jar of mousse to his hair, which what's left of it being, somewhat of a Jewish nebbish, Lubie, he said, that's the worst pick I've ever seen in my lifetime. Would you, for the fans out there that follow the show, would you care to amend that, or do you just want to always be on the record?
I might as well stay with it, yeah.
How can you criticize Chris Greer when every pick that ever succeeded in the NFL or the NBA you've been opposed to?
I wouldn't say every, but a lot of them.
Yeah. That's the funny thing about sportscasting today, right? The same guy that is telling you, this guy should be fired tomorrow.
This is bad.
Can't pick his nose. Is picking his nose as he tells you that Mac Jones is going to be a bust. Meanwhile, it's going to keep Belichick in the league for like another 20 years. All right, so what do you really think here? I mean, what's your... If you had to give us your expert breakdown of this game, as if you were like Archie Manning coming back. Which, by the way, have you noticed what they've done to the Mannings? They've prostituted his family out now, and they are selling like gambling sites and tout sheets.
Yes, very nice.
Archie's got like a game on his head with a +3 and a hook. Archie.
Oh no, I can't believe this is happening. But the Mannings.
Well, what about your Jet fan brothers and sisters out there? They must be calling you from New Jersey.
This game is always, like I said, it's always a toss up. You don't know who's going to win this game.
Get out of here! What kind of analysis?
No, I'm telling you, this game is always. Who's going to?
I don't know what happened.
I'll tell you what. I know what I'm going to do. I mean, if you want to know what I'm going to do, I'm going to.
All right, what are you going to do?
I'm going to take the New York Jets plus the points. Of course, I am. They're playing
plus the points.
Plus the
weenie.
Come on.
Your money line Martinez, man.
What do you want me to do?
What happens when you call? Does somebody else call his bet in for you?
I cannot, in good faith, take the Miami Dolphins against the Jets. I'm not betting on the Dolphins.
Of course not.
And Lubitz loves the Dolphins, which the mush theory now comes into effect.
The double mush effect, because I can't understand how they're only 3.5-point favorites.
All we got to do is call Hollywood Tommy, and we'll get his pick. And I'm
get
sure
him on the phone right
I'm
now.
sure he's gonna pick the Miami Dolphins. So now we got a double mush theory, which means we got to go with the Jets. I mean, that's me anyway. But yeah, this game, you never know who's going to show up. Flacco, a Jersey kid.
He literally broke in the Stone Age. He did.
It's like in year 25.
The second pick in that draft was Cro-Magnon Man.
How old is Flacco?
He's 100 years old. And he's named the starter over the Cinderella Man. I mean, it's like they drafted James J. Braddock with this Mike White guy.
Yeah.
And, you're waiting for like Renee Zellweger to say, go, fight him. To Mike White, who, is throwing out picks, handing them out like bar mitzvah invitations.
Yeah, and this is the one that's up in the Meadowlands. And, of course, in another 4 or 5 weeks,
that could be a problem.
They come down here, and this great rivalry rematch takes place right here at Hard Rock.
And this was a rivalry with a great history at one time. I mean, the Dolphins have been awful since... Well, a mediocre or worse since 1999 when Marino retired. I think I had a number on that. They're like 154 and 177.
Wow.
During that span, which, included some good years after Jimmy left the team in pretty good shape, where Dave Wanstadt. What's the play call, Dave? Went 11-5 2 years in a row with these guys. That's how good they were. Jimmy, I mean, had to be, how did it take him so long to get him in the Hall of Fame, Jimmy Johnson? Which, we're happy to represent Jimmy Johnson's big shill. That was not a big shill. That was.
Yeah, sure. Jimmy, if you're watching, he needs you to pick up the check the next time they wander down to the
Mayo's
Keys.
Starting to get into it now. He's going to join us later, the Gambling Gourmet, Mike Mayo. But he's starting to mention a sponsor with like every other word.
Yeah. I noticed
what it's all about here on the show.
I caught you guys on the radio the other day, and he was chowing down on a McRib. Is he okay?
Nah,
No.
he's on Ricardo 2 weeks ago.
I think the Paulie Man looked better when he showed up on the set yesterday.
A McRib. I mean, the guy's got guts, I gotta tell you.
Yeah, he doesn't have guts anymore. Cut him right out. Let's just go see a surgeon here and just start taking organs out after you. I don't want to bash McDonald's rib sandwich, but I would have to say, and I looked at it when he took the top piece of bread off,
yes.
And he's looking at it for a while there. And if you're gonna analyze food from that angle, then just don't eat it. Forget about it. So it literally the same piece of meat. I was watching a documentary on the Attica riot, which it's like 50 years ago, 1971.
Right.
And that was the final straw that made them go ahead and take the hostages and say, that's it. They were served McRib sandwiches.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
For lunch that day. And it was just absolutely a disaster. All right. Did we get to the bottom of this yet?
The Dolphins, Jets, I don't even know why you're wasting so much time talking about it.
Talking about that
here on the show. I mean, it's the big game.
I don't know how big it is.
You had the shootout, Marino and Ken O'Brien, right? And how happy were we here in South Florida when the Jets, in usual fashion, disappointed all of their fans, crushed their faith in the organization when they said, hey, we'll take this unknown quarterback in the middle of the first round out of, where was he from? Like, not even Cal Berkeley. He was from, like, California, by some, fair meat, and, out
here we go, back to the horses again.
Yeah, but, and they took him and left Marino on the board.
Yeah.
For Don Shula.
No, and you're going back to ancient history. I mean, those were great games. I mean, O'Brien and Marino, the scores were always
spike.
Everything.
That was a good one, right?
Miracle in the Meadowlands when the Dolphins were like 31 points ahead and the Jets came back.
People went to bed and it was like the Heidi game.
A touchdown pass to Jumbo Elliott. But I mean, like you're bringing back like those good days,
Those were the three, yeah.
We haven't seen those in years. I mean, come on. This game
we haven't
had
that feeling here since 1969.
And this is going to be what
you haven't anyway.
No, well, the Jets had that little bit of a run there, that pop when Sexy Rexy Ryan came in, and they went
I thought
to.
they were going to do something.
They did pretty good there for.
What happened? Mike Tannenbaum screwed.
Well, they had Dirty Sanchez as the quarterback, and that
who knew he couldn't throw?
Didn't work out too good, but yeah. So this game really, you're trying to make a lot of it, and I appreciate that because
he's trying hard.
He is. He's trying to bump this up as the Super Bowl. This is probably the worst game on the NFL schedule.
This is the Super Bowl of sports.
You got two teams going. Yeah. Well, the Jets are definitely going in the wrong direction. The Dolphins did show some life last week.
Defense is garbage, man.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's true. They just rested the defense in that McMichael case there.
They arrested them?
No, Ahmaud Arbery. The kid's jogging in the neighborhood there. He's running away, and they're chasing him in a car with a shotgun, and then they're pleading self-defense. Right? If they had just let the guy run, he would have kept running till he got to Cleveland. This guy. He was scared half to death. Right? But the only defense that is worse than that whole concept is the New York Jets defense right now. And, you know what? Who knows?
Right.
They may let that guy off on that one, but that seemed like a pretty tough angle to say, well, you know what? I was afraid for my life. It's no laughing matter. It's unfortunately very serious. And you know where this trial is taking place? In one of the places named after one of our favorite horses, Glynn County.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
We lost a lot of money on, by the way, people. Of late, Glynn County can't raise a gallop, man. It's unbelievable. Destination Sport Miami is here to revolutionize the sports landscape in South Florida. The largest indoor multifaceted sports complex in North America is on the way, with distinguished leaders of its various sports programs and unparalleled access to the finest indoor training fields and facilities. Destination Sport Miami will set South Florida apart as the destination of choice for elite athletic training and development and for its dedication to youth programs and sports on all levels. A phenomenal concept and a powerful undertaking, Destination Sport Miami will also be an important commodity in the sports business community as well. Destination Sport Miami, its time has come. All right, it's asbestos gloves time, and we were rocking and rolling in our previous radio life with our handicappers that we featured on the program. They had a combined record of something ridiculous like 32-14.
Yeah, they were killing it.
Yeah, just absolutely killing it on everything from college football to Australian rules football.
Yes.
This gentleman was giving us game after game, winner after winner, and remains red hot on the show last week. Gives out 4 games. 3 of them are winners. And we welcome to the show here on a Deal Volkswagen Degenerate Friday with Jersey Kyle. I'm Jeff DeForest. You got Lubie Cam, the great innovation here, and technological advancement. And we welcome to the show the professor joins us here on the program. Professor, how are you? The dogs are barking.
Are you going
to give out some dogs here on the program?
Actually, yeah, we are going to give a couple of dogs out here on the program.
All right, very good. You last week knocked it out of the park once again, 3-1. Are you finding it to be a relatively easy season to handicap college football? Because I base this on the fact that my friend Francesco, who has lost every year that I've been booking his bets, went 7-0 on a college football card, I think just 2 weeks ago. Picked 7 games, hit them all. Has it been easy for the player this year, easier than in previous seasons, in your opinion?
I think some of the big spots have been really obvious. I'd say overall it's about normal. But most of the bigger plays we put out this year have won, so in that sense it's gone well. But, we still have the end of the regular season and bowl season to go, so we'll see.
All right, we have the Gambling Gourmet coming up a bit later on the program, so I'm going to serve you some hors d'oeuvres on a platter. Which, at the Lubie wedding, the hors d'oeuvres, one thing, I don't know, I think he got screwed by the caterer there, because the hors d'oeuvres all looked the same, right? Did they not? They all had that same pink encasement? What did you think about the hors d'oeuvres at the Lubie wedding, Jersey Kyle? I know you threw a few into the bushes there after, taking one bite. What was that? That was that wrapped up salami or whatever that thing
I don't know what it was. I still have no idea what it was, even though I did eat some of it, but I didn't know what it was, and I fired it into the woods, and I actually saw a couple of raccoons run away from it.
Yeah, the wildlife there was even a little bit frightened of what was being served. But I'm going to serve you one on a platter here. I'm sure you were impressed with the Patriots win last night, Professor. Here you go. Would you like a couple more of those mushrooms? Yes.
Defo, I'm shocked. Last week you wouldn't let me on. You cut me off. This week I come back, and once again, your breath smells like Mac Jones' taint.
Smell-o-vision, another technological advancement here by the people at Ion Channel. Incredible what these people are doing. Amazing. All right. Yeah, I figured you probably wouldn't be happy with that. And that also means, well, you have a target now forever. It's like your Preet Bharara or whatever that guy's name was, the district attorney in New York who had Trump as a permanent target until they both had, well, Trump fired him. But you have a permanent target with Belichick. As he's going to be around forever now. I mean, there's no way he leaves football while Mac Jones is quarterback, and of course that makes perfect sense. Since Lubie thought he was going to be the worst of the 5 guys selected in this year's draft, and was a reach even if he went in the 3rd round. But so you have to be happy about that, Professor. That Boston may prosper for a long time into the future.
Yeah, his dream.
I have a permanent target if I'm ever close to a local whorehouse and I see him or Bob Kraft crossing the street.
Don't hold back, my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get to the selections
hey,
here.
Look, you're the one praising a team that is owned by a sex offender and coached by a cheater. And you do it every week when I come
Yeah, but
on.
you know what? You're a Dolphin
you do it
fan.
on purpose just to aggravate me.
You're a Dolphin fan, and when Deshaun Watson is quarterbacking the team next year, you don't care that he groped more massage therapists than Bob Kraft did. You're not going to mention that one time in the stands there. Hey, Deshaun. All right, let's get to the selections here for this week. The Professor, college football, 3-1 last week. Always great on this, and his analysis, even when wrong, still adds up and makes a lot of fundamental sense. So,
Yes,
Professor,
sir.
what do you have for us this week?
I got a few games this week, Defo. I don't think it's an overall that strong a card, but there are a few spots. We're starting off tonight with Nevada, a team we've made pretty consistent money on throughout the course of the season. We like their offense. It's a contrasted styles game. Nevada with the high-flying offense. Air Force, they're more conservative. They play that running game, a little bit better of a defensive team. I think what you're looking at here is Nevada's just got too much offensive talent, too many big bodies for Air Force, and I think they'll come out on top on this one. -1 looks like a pretty easy spot to me. Wolfpack, -1 to start the season.
Right? Flying to the danger zone. Air Force, I heard somebody touting Air Force last night. The Professor likes Nevada. Just laying a single digit there over Air Force, saying that, did they run one of those popcorn, offenses? Like the military academies, or do they actually throw the ball now?
They used
Professor?
to.
Air Force?
All the service academies certainly mix some option in there, although they've now gone to more of a read option system than that flex bone we've seen for years and years and years out of them. But yeah, they're still a run-based team, and they'll still run a fair share of option in this game.
See, it scares me a little bit, especially when you see, like, war movies and things like that nobody in the military academies can throw. Right? Air Force, Army, Navy. You never have a quarterback who can throw anything. I mean, there's not one guy enlisted.
I actually think the larger issue for this game for them is the fact that you look at Air Force, and they have serious height and weight restrictions, so they don't throw out a little bit, they don't throw out big bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Which limits them on both sides of the offensive and defensive line, and I think that's the determining factor.
That is a great factor. I mean, that's Laurentian, right? The height and weight taken into consideration and the restrictions there.
You can hear the head coach right now. Hey, fat boy, get down and give me 20. You know?
The Nevada guy's got to have some real slobs. You've seen the size of some of those farmers that are out there.
Well, you've seen some of the buffets out in Vegas.
Well,
all right, you're looking at Virginia
You've been
and
to Reno, which is where Nevada's located.
oh, there you go. Yeah, that's right. And we're talking about
potato
Reno.
bars and free waffles. So, yeah,
Thinking UNLV. Yeah, I know everybody's fat in Reno.
Yeah, free waffles are always big. Yes, that's good.
That woman at the Dolphins offensive line coach was trying to solicit her services, the Reno hooker. A blimp, man. Butterby Nash. All right, Virginia and Pitt. You like the dog in this one, huh, Professor?
Yeah, I like
appropriate sound effects too. We didn't even have to mix that in ourselves. That's great, man.
Who let the dogs out?
Yeah.
It's a weird combination here, Deep. People seem to like Pitt more and more as the results get worse and worse. They lost to Miami a couple weeks ago. They struggled for like 2.5 quarters with a Duke team that's absolutely rotten. And then they should have probably lost straight up to North Carolina last week. I think they were laying 7 in that spot. I probably should have lost the game straight ahead. I think the trend continues to get a little bit north of a touchdown. I am definitely not sold on the Pitt Panthers, so we're taking UVA plus the 14.5.
Dogs seem happy with that.
Yeah,
Taking
dogs
the
are
dog
all
there,
over.
getting 14 and a hook with Virginia. A big game on the slate, and we'll have, as Lubie likes to say, he loves this cliche, national championship implications. Especially for Mario Cristobal, who everybody wants to come coach Miami. But if Oregon does prevail over Utah, then they probably find themselves right there in the old Final Four, right? So you like Oregon in this game, getting 3.
I do. I think both these teams, if you look at the number, their statistical profiles are really, really close. But I think the difference in this game will be Kayvon Thibodeau will be the best player on the field and will, pressure that that Utah passing game. And I think that'll be the difference in the game is I don't think Utah's going to be able to block Kayvon Thibodeau. I look for him to have a big game, probably a couple sacks, maybe create a turnover. And I think that'll be the difference here. So we'll take Oregon plus the 3. And what we do every year and give Mario Cristobal a chance to disappoint us with a crushing defeat to a team he should not lose to.
All right, for those not in the know, the professor also owns a piece of a fine restaurant here in South Florida. So
Yes.
if you're out of town, out of the country, and you're coming to South Florida and going, where can I eat? And Gambling Gourmet loves this place.
Yep.
And that is the Foundry. Will the Foundry be serving Thanksgiving dinners, or is there any plan there for the Foundry Thanksgiving?
No, we're not good. We did it the last couple of years. This year we had some requests from our staff take it off, so we're taking the day off, let our staff be home with friends and family. But we'll be back open Friday for all those Black Friday Christmas games, and Black Friday college football games. So we'll see you then. No Thursday, no Thanksgiving. Back open on Black Friday.
Sounds good. All right, interesting that the owner of the restaurant started choking as soon as he thought about giving help the day off, even though he said it with a great deal of sincerity. Yes, we thought they should be with their families, but I could be making money.
Oh, come on. Dude. Ken's a good guy.
No, I know he meant that in all sincerity. All right, it just happened to be coincidental there. All right, Mark Lawrence, I have 50 Exxon Valdez.
All right,
theory is invoked. Invoked.
Recently we realized it's not just hurricane season that can hurt us. Any time of year, things can happen to your home or business. And the insurance company can be your friend, but they also can be your enemy. Horizon Public Adjusters, Justina Testa, are here for you to help this process go so much easier. Before you call the insurance company, call Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa at 954-809-8752. Would you go into court without an attorney? So why would you go up against an insurance company without Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa? 7 to 10 times more money recovered with a public adjuster than if you went on your own. If there's no recovery, there's no fee. Give them a call at 954-809-8752. Why go up against insurance companies alone when you can have Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa on your side?
All right, always great. We have money riding on this. What theory will be invoked here during this appearance by the great Mark Lawrence, World Championship handicapper? He won the first quarter of the Westgate handicapping competition, and I don't know. Do you use some favorites, Mark Lawrence, of PlaybookSports.com when you're involved in some kind of action like that, or do you strictly go with bombs, much to the amazement of virtually everybody that's in the competition, and then end up on top? Mark, how are you, my friend? Happy Thanksgiving week.
Well, thank you, Defo. Same to you and Mike and everybody listening.
Good morning.
As far as that Westgate contest goes and using favorites, the only time we will cross the line will be as if there's a line that's off or there's value. A game has moved two or more points. And the only reason that you do that is because you don't want to let that value go to everybody else. You have to take advantage of situations like that. So rare occurrences, but we have to take advantage of value when you see value.
All right, we put in a call to somebody who was in a remote jungle in Costa Rica, and we were able to get some action on what theories you might invoke here on the show today. So we do have action on that. It's almost like Say the Secret Word, the old Groucho Marx thing, where like all of a sudden that contraband would drop down from the ceiling and somebody just happened to say it on the show. So we have some action involved here. So we're very excited about your appearance. And of course, 3-1 last week, another monster week, picking all dogs. And I think, did you not have the Washington football team in an outright win?
Yes.
They were getting 9 and a hook in that ball game.
Over the Bucks.
A sensational call there over the Buccaneers, who is, now the darling team of everybody, defending Super Bowl champ. And Brady's 44 years old. How about that? They haven't brought that up recently because it's almost impossible to convince people that he's not 12. But how are you feeling about this week's action, Mark Lawrence? And we want to get into it on the college front first.
Well, as far as those theories go, Defo, let me say this, that we're going to use two different theories here, obviously. One of them we've talked about before. The other one is out of the oven, brand new.
Oh, wow.
So the one that we talked about before is in college football this week, we do see a major oil spill.
There it is! Defo nailed it.
Yeah.
That's annoying. I was going to go with Exxon, but you took it.
That was
not
3-1, the Exxon
annoying.
Valdez theory. And I had it. He had redheaded stepchild, Jersey Kyle, and Lubie was off on.
I created full moon.
Yeah, full moon. He worked some planetary elements into the call here. All right, let's go Exxon Valdez on a couple of college games.
Okay, first play, we're going to play Illinois and take 13 points against Iowa, which looks rather ugly, but nonetheless, Iowa is not playing good football. They've been out-yarded in each of their last 4 football games in a row. They had this great start to the season. They've become just a mediocre team at best since that point, yet they're still being priced like Iowa. On the other side of the coin, in Illinois, you've got a football team here that is playing really, really good as an underdog. They've won 3 games straight up as underdogs thus far this season. They've surprised 3 different teams. I don't know if they're going to pull the surprise in this game, but I think they can at least take home the money. We'll play Illinois plus the 13.
All right, I notice here, and we have a new graphics department. Brad, the wizard behind the screen, as he's known here at Ion Channel, has your selections up there. And, this is kind of odd, Jersey Kyle. You wouldn't expect this, but all I see are plus signs. So, your next game, I'm assuming that's Hawaii, not Hawthorne Park.
Hawaii.
Over Colorado State?
It is. It's Hawaii over Colorado State. And with regard to that plus sign, let me say this. I would rather be plus than minus at any time. Okay?
Yes, for sure.
That's true.
And you have been all season long. I mean, a remarkable year you're having with these underdogs.
So we're going to go to Hawaii this week. It'll be our late get-out game of the week. Everybody likes to play that Hawaii game late on Saturday if things didn't go well earlier in the day. We're going to play Hawaii plus the 3 against Colorado State, who the Rams themselves come in having again been out-yarded each of their last 3 football games in a row. And, in fact, Colorado State's on a 4-game straight-up and point spread losing streak, so they're not playing good football at all. Hawaii does really rather well in their last home game of the season. They won 8 of the last 9 years doing that, and part of that reason is because the teams that they're hosting are literally on vacation in Hawaii for the last game of this football season here.
The guy with the lampshade on his head. The quarterback that jumps into the pool from the 3rd level of the hotel. He's always the visitor,
So if you want to get laid the last week of the season, you go to Hawaii.
Exactly.
It's a nice way of putting it.
We're going to grab the 3 with Hawaii.
Exxon Valdez. Okay, call Jose down there.
I know.
In Costa Rica, if you can find him again. Yeah, I want to cash that. That's like having $30,000 on Ohtani to win the MVP. All right, let's move to the National Football League. I'm very curious about your final pick here, but we're going to start out. Wow, I mean, this is some serious nerve. I am getting like Jim Feist on this.
You are. You're like over. You're selling the crap out of it.
Houston plus 11 over Tennessee. What are you seeing there, Mark Lawrence?
Well, these are going to be our Rocky Balboa plays, okay?
Nice.
And literally what they mean is get the smelling salt out because we're going to need them, okay?
Yeah, cut man, maybe.
Oh, cut man, I like that. First play is the Houston Texans, as you said, taking 11 from Tennessee. And you've got Tennessee in this major role here now, 6 wins in a row. They have this big, fat 4.5-game lead in their division right now, so they're sitting comfortably on easy street right now. But if you look at this football team, since Derrick Henry went out, their last 2 football games, they've been outgained by 109 and 203 yards. That's smoke and mirrors. You can't continue to keep doing that and be priced the way that Tennessee is. In Houston, you've got a football team here that everybody will tend to want to step down to their level. Quarterback Tyrod Taylor is back for a second start here. A little bit rocky, a little bit rusty, the first one. I like him back in the groove in this particular game here. We'll play Houston plus the 11 against Tennessee as I think they scare the Titans on Sunday.
pure guts, man. Pure chutzpah. By,
Exactly.
Mark Lawrence, PlaybookSports.com. All right, this is the big one. We were discussing this. Moneyline Martinez over here is going to wimp out and take the points with the New York Jets. He's a giant. I guess that's a bad way to put it. He's a humongous Jets fan. In no way interest in the Giants whatsoever. But 3.5 over Miami, I thought that line was a little bit bizarre, like avant-garde, my friend. I thought maybe the Jets would be much more heavily awarded in terms of having points with Miami beating the Ravens last week.
I think what the odds maker does in a case like this is he has to look at Miami and ask himself, what does Miami do to warrant going out favorite? And yes, they've won their last 2 games in a bit of a surprise each football game, but they do not do well when they dress up as favorites away from home. The last 5 times, they're just 1-4 straight up. They lost 4 of those 5 times as a favorite on the road. But the play behind the Jets is this, and it's really kind of the epitome of, the old butt, the big ugly dog. And really what it is the fact that when you are you're at home as an underdog and you lost at home your previous game by 25 or more points, you're red-faced embarrassed coming back, and these teams step up in this particular role. They're 16-5 to the spread against teams that are off a pair of wins like Miami is. We will hold our nose and play the New York Jets plus the 3.5 in this game.
That was like Shakespearean, man. That was just beautiful, only involving numerology instead of, big words. But, no, fantastic. Mark Lawrence, PlaybookSports.com. You guys do a lot of different things. It's not like you're pushing picks or anything like that, but you have all kinds of insight, and people can formulate their own opinion and also be influenced by the things you have to say. How can people get involved with PlaybookSports.com, get all your great information? Because that database, much like Brad's innovation of the Lubie Cam, way ahead of its time. Way ahead of its time.
Yeah, that's our well-oiled machine, our database, and we keep that puppy well-oiled. Believe me, we take care of it.
How do you ward off the Russian hackers, though? I mean, everybody wants that. Forget about getting into, like, J.P. Morgan.
That's probably where the hiccups come from. I'm glad you mentioned that. We'll have to look into the Russian hackers.
Yeah. Always look after those hackers. Yeah.
There you go.
PlaybookSports.com, though. Yeah, it's great. Great.
Yeah, everything's available. PlaybookSports.com. Our weekly newsletters. We publish the weekly football newsletter, which has had a fantastic year this year. Weekly statistical newsletter. It's our daily racing form of football newsletters. We call it the Midweek Alert. And we publish the only over-under totals tip sheet in the country, the Playbook Totals tip sheet. You can check them out all online at PlaybookSports.com just in time for the football weekend.
All right, Mark Lawrence, PlaybookSports.com, always outstanding. 4 more dogs.
Hey, folks, Tony Segreto here. What if I told you you could go to a great restaurant, feel completely safe because their COVID protocol is unmatched, have an amazing meal, have a great time. When the bill comes, you won't get sticker shock. You're going to say, that's too good to be true. No, it's not, because I'm talking about Texas Roadhouse. Great family atmosphere, great atmosphere for a couple, great atmosphere if you just want to go by yourself and watch a game and have the coldest beer in town. And while you're doing that, have the best bread in town. All at Texas Roadhouse. Everything you get there is fresh every day and made sure it's served at your table, hot and ready to go. And the best part is you don't get sticker shock because the prices are amazing. Texas Roadhouse.